Hey, what's up, gang? Thank you for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast, and of course, thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Use the promo code Swish Masters. That's right, Swish Masters, the name of the podcast, for 15% off today on all merch at ss96.net. Also, be sure to follow Straight Stoner as well as Xzequtive Productions on all socials. See you soon, and thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. We love it.
Welcome to the Swish Masters Podcast. I'm your co-host, QtheGuru.
What up? What up? Welcome in. I'm Zay, the executive producer, and this is another episode with your boys. Q, you watched that game last night?
And yep, and we saw a controversial ending to that game, which was UConn and Iowa, not LSU and UConn, wherever I put in there by accident.
Q really wanted LSU to win, guys. That's all it is.
That's all it was. Yeah,
we all did. To be fair.
Yeah. But thanks for catching it before you really got into the thing. So yeah. Got to talk about this game and especially the controversial ending. If you guys didn't know, the UConn, the Huskies had the chance to at least tie it up or win the game. I was like, 10, 19 seconds left, something like that.
They had time.
They had time for a possession. Clark lost the ball, and they had the ball, and they had a chance to make a play. And Page just come off the screen, and I don't think, and they called offensive foul, illegal screen. Okay, she had she had a little bit of elbow out maybe, but it's negligible at best. Like, it didn't have so many grounds on play. Shout out, who was it Marshall going over the screen? Like, shout out to her fighting over the screen. Marshall. Yeah, shout out to her for fighting over the screen. But I gotta let them play, man.
Yeah. That was a really, really good game up until that point. It's like watching a movie that's just been like super good from the jump, right? And then you get to the end and they hit you with the worst cliffhanger or just the most unsatisfying ending. And it's not to say that, Iowa didn't deserve to win. I'm not saying that by any means. It's just that these type of games at this stage being ruined by the referees making a poor call, in my opinion, just ruins the game for the fans and everyone. I was literally watching that and I'm like, how is it an offensive foul? I can see, all right, you set in a screen, right? And you're literally moving into them. But she literally moved, stopped.
Right.
Marshall hit her.
Right. Yeah.
And they called an offensive foul.
Yeah, Edwards was set. It was like maybe a slight move towards the end, but she was about to maybe roll or something. But it was, you don't want to have a game and make a call right there. And of course there's missed calls throughout the game on both sides, but you don't make just a solid game deciding call right there. And this is what has fans upset. Even famous celebrities were upset. Like, you know, LeBron even called it out. Like, nah, I don't agree with that call. You know, so fans do not like for the game to be decided in the refs' hands at all.
Entire timeline on Twitter was the same thing. Everyone was in agreement that that's not an offensive foul.
No,
I'm sorry, guys. Come on, like the refs have a hard job. I've said it before, but in the definition of, you know, offensive foul in terms of a screen, to me, that's not enough movement to warrant a offensive foul.
It's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't egregious.
Not at all.
And then it may, okay, by textbook definition, okay, sure, it was an illegal screen, but you call it when it has like a substantial effect on the play. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Marshall's reaction to fighting over the screen kind of helped it a little bit as well. But that just feeds into the narrative of like, oh, the script is being written, or oh, they just want Caitlin Clark to go to the Final Four. And like,
that was my exact thought, bro. I was like, the script is for Caitlin to go.
Yeah, the script's for Caitlin to make it all the way. So
yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, if Iowa lost that game though, would we be thinking of Clark a little bit differently?
Personally, I would not. And I got to give a shout out to Nika Mule. Oh. Like, that's how you play D. That's how you move your feet, bro. Like, I don't know if you've seen that RDC World video where Mark Phillips.
Oh, to my how you got to guard Steph Curry.
How you got to guard. That's how Nika was on Caitlin the whole game. And I'm like, LSU, take notes. This is what you were supposed to do.
Exactly. You can't just let Caitlin. You can't just give her space to do this and what she wants to do.
She literally like had so much freedom in the game versus LSU. Then UConn, Nika Mule made her presence felt, and I hope that she gets all the love for that. And I got to give credit to UConn because they were already having. I think they had 5 players with season-ending injuries. Their starters played pretty much the entire game. And they're going up against one of the best teams in college basketball. And to be able to compete at that level and still like lose within a few points at the very end with the controversial call, it speaks a lot to what they were able to accomplish this year. So I got to give a shout out to them. Shout out to Coach Gino. Been winning ever since I can remember UConn basketball. He's been there and been doing his thing. So it was a really good game, man. I really do. The ending was just so unsatisfactory, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, Iowa escaped with 71-69. They now advance to the national title game. But again, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth as a fan of basketball. Yeah. We hated seeing it coming down like that.
Yeah.
Whatever it's like making a call or the lack of a call that should have been called, you know, just it's tough, man. Like you said, refs have a hard job. It's not easy at all. But just let them play at the end of the day. And players play, man. So they ain't lose a game in one play. We can't. That's not realistic, but you know, it is what it is.
For sure, it gets magnified when it's the fourth quarter. But even Paige said that after the game. She said, you know, you can't break it down to all one play. And shout out to her. She was still being a leader. She came through and made some good plays in the game. So that's all love, bro.
Yep. As we said, they now advance to the national title game. They will be facing South Carolina. So, not surprising, by the way. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't watched South Carolina. I already knew what it was gonna be. And when I saw the final score, I was like, "Yep." I was not surprised. But did you catch the game? If you did, you have any reaction to that matchup?
I did watch. I watched both games. First time I watched back-to-back games like fully like that in a minute too, and it was worth the price of admission from my couch, of course. But I enjoyed it, man. South Carolina is their juggernaut to be honest. They have matchup issues for everyone. They play great as a team. Camila was a monster. She got hurt for a second, but she was able to return. But in the fourth quarter, she didn't even play because they were already up big time. But to give credit to North Carolina State for sure, they play hard. They came out with good intensity. They just kind of like ran out of steam throughout the rest of the game. But dang, what's her name? Shout out to Azia. I might be saying that wrong, but the guards from North Carolina State, she was playing hard the entire game, and they just kind of ran out of gas for sure. But it was a really good matchup to begin with, and South Carolina is so just stacked with 6'7". Camilla, there's no stopping her. If she gets that right shoulder turned over to the basket, she's good to go. But also their role players, Johnson making threes, like they're gonna be a matchup nightmare for Iowa because they don't have the size. Yeah, South Carolina likes to run, so and obviously Iowa does as well. So it's gonna be a really fast game. But I think just like with LSU, they're going to need to feed the post, and I think I'm assuming that South Carolina is going to win because of that. But you can't count Caitlin Clark out. She can single-handedly turn around a game. It's going to be interesting to see how they guard. If anything, Dawn Staley was obviously at the game for the Final Four, so I hope she and her players were taking notes. Like, you got to guard Caitlin just like Nika Mule did. Give her the Nika Mule treatment for sure. But yeah, South Carolina ended up dominating North Carolina State. But shout out to them. I don't think they were ranked coming into that game, and they had a great run for this season. Really, really good stuff going on in the Carolinas for sure.
Yeah, I saw that Watkins had 20 rebounds.
Oh yeah, off the bench, 20 rebounds. Bro, she reminds me of a young Rodman. Like, she just got super bouncy athleticism. She hustles, and she just like has a nose for the ball. Like, she was awesome as well. Like, nice. Big shout out to Watkins for sure. 20 rebounds off the bench is crazy.
Yeah, I was looking at stats because I didn't watch that game in particular, but I was like, ooh, 20 off the bench.
Yeah, bro. Monster game for sure.
It's very impressive.
That's what's crazy, bro. Like, they obviously, like I said, with Camila, they got the size, and then you got Watkins, who's just like super athletic off the bench, and they have a decent like depth chart as well. South Carolina, man, yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it looks like they really won that game in the third quarter.
Yeah.
In the second half, they just took off. It seems like.
Yeah, I think it was tied up going into halftime, but they went on a run and it was over, bro. Yeah. My younger brother actually texted me after the game. He was like, "This is like the perfect scenario because you got obviously Caitlin Clark, who's broken all the records this year and is likely the number 1 draft pick in the WNBA draft, going for her, championship to cap off her senior year, and then you got the Dawn Staley led South Carolina squad undefeated, seeking another championship. It's the best storyline in basketball right now.
They've only had 3 losses in 3 years.
That's insane,
bro.
3 losses in 3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
I get mad when Miami loses 2 games in a row. So 3 losses in 3 years is crazy to even like fathom,
It's ridiculous. And of course, South Carolina is favored in this matchup with Iowa. So and I agree. They should be favored. This is a juggernaut. Like we just said, only 3 losses in 3 years.
Crazy.
109-3.
Mm.
Ridiculous. Now, I will say this: if Kaylin can somehow get a win off of this, I would agree with you at this point that she is the best college basketball player ever. Like, men and women. International, don't even matter. Like, she is the best. Now, and it would want to be one of the best runs as well. Like, this season would be. So, if she can finish it, I will agree with you, man.
I'm actually going to retract that statement.
Oh, you want to retract it now?
I'm gonna retract that statement though, bro. But I'm gonna correct myself. I'm gonna correct myself. You're right. I did say that.
You said it earlier before we even got here. So like, and my argument was like, if she gets all the way, you know, okay. So how are you adjusting your statement?
I'm adjusting my statement by saying that Kaylin, as an individual player, as a college athlete, as far as like statistics and records wise, she's up there with, like, she's arguably like one of the most incredible individual talents we've seen on the court.
For sure.
But I would be remiss if I were to say she's the best, like, overall, if we're talking about winning and championships, because I can't count out B. Stewie at UConn winning 4 most outstanding players for each championship. Can't count her out. Can't count out Maya Moore, one of the greatest people to ever touch a basketball, and, you know, championships, multiple levels. So I would be remiss if I didn't, like, adjust that statement. But I will say that Caitlin Clark is potentially the greatest college basketball scorer, because she is. Like, she's number one in everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put it that way. She's the greatest scorer of, you know, college ever. But overall, I won't say she's like the GOAT of college basketball. I'll put it that way.
So you just kind of live in the moment.
I think I was caught up in the hype. My bad, guys. I was a little caught up.
But I ain't gonna lie, she does have the records to justify that claim a little bit.
Yeah, she has the numbers to back it up for sure.
She has the numbers. She has the records.
She's got game, bro. Like, there's no doubting it at all.
The Clark effect is real, though. It really is. Even I mean, even before her, you know, Breanna Stewart had a really great run.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, Diana as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players, but I feel like the hype around Kaylin is just different.
Definitely. She is very different because of how she plays.
Right. If she stayed in college, if, like, for example, if she had like more time, then maybe, yeah. Because in this case, if she wins, it'll be just only one, right? Whereas other players have 2. Like, I think doesn't Candace have like 2? I feel like.
I believe so.
Yeah, so I don't know, but the individual records are crazy though.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting. But I ain't gonna lie, if she can somehow beat this juggernaut of a team though,
it's ill.
I would literally put her in that conversation. Like, this is like, shoot, I don't even know how to compare this to. It's like, this is an extreme hypothetical. But it's like if LeBron of the Cavaliers, before he went to the Heat, played himself with the big 3 and against the Heat and win. It's like that type of. You're just so under, you know. But Iowa has a squad though, not saying that like the Cleveland squad. That wasn't the best team.
Oh yeah.
Ever. But I'm just saying though, like, the odds are so strongly in South Carolina's favor. So like,
Yeah.
and if she somehow finds a way, if they somehow find a way, so if they win and she balls out, I feel like okay. That's why I was like, I would join you in that statement, but you retracted. But what do you think about it? What do you think about that statement again? If she does win, I would say it would be one of the best runs for sure, like individual season runs ever.
Yeah.
I definitely say that, but I would put her up there in the conversation of like GOAT of all time. It should be.
Yeah, conversation is definitely to be had if she is able to win the title this year for sure. Even if not, like to be able to get to back-to-back championships is still difficult, and with everything that she's done in her college career, she deserves to be in the conversation for sure. I agree with that. Well, before we like move on with Iowa, I gotta also give a shout out to the others, bro. Like Kate Marshall, she hit a spin move jumper that I was like, I didn't even know she had that in her bag. I knew she could shoot, but I was like, all right, because Nika, shout out to Nika Mule again. I'm gonna keep shouting her out. She made it so difficult for Kaylin throughout the game, but the others stepped up, bro. Hannah, what's her last name? Hannah, the center. She was hooping. She had like 23. And Kate Marshall in the clutch, like I said, she drove, spin to the left, fadeaway jumper over the top. I was like, okay, I didn't even know you had that in your bag. All right. So they really stepped up for her and for their team and made plays when it mattered for sure. I wanted to make sure I shouted them out as well. We give a lot of love to Caitlin, but without her team,
for sure.
Without her team, it's not possible.
Yeah, even Gabby Marshall did the defense. She was playing. So that's she has a squad. That's why I want to say she's just playing with bombs.
Nah,
she got a squad
not by any means. But yeah, man, shout out to Iowa, man. It's gonna be an exciting game for Iowa and South Carolina for sure. I'm looking forward to that.
Same. Let's continue to go around the rim with our basketball news and topics and things of that nature. And bro, the Knicks were looking good, man. They had a really positive record when you had Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and OG Anunoby on the floor together. And Tom Thibodeau having these boys playing defense like you wouldn't believe. That's his DNA anyway. So, not so surprising. But Julius Randle is out with an injury now, man. It's unfortunate. So, with this injury, he'll be out for the season. He's elected to have surgery on it. I believe it's the... What was it, like the shoulder? Yep, shoulder. And be out for the rest of the season. So, obviously, what impact does this injury have on the Knicks, man?
It's a very unfortunate situation. I know Julius Randle's been out for the past few games, to say the least. And he was rehabbing pretty hard, trying to get back. But from what I understand, his doctors told him that it's unlikely that he'll be able to recover and make it back for the season, and that even if he were to, it probably would further injure him. So they, he decided to have the shoulder surgery and sitting out. It's unfortunate because the Knicks have been really good this year. I've actually liked what I've seen from them. We obviously know about Jalen Brunson, everything that he's accomplished this year, and being an all-star, being a leader for that team, being the anchor that, I feel like they were always able to rely on him to get a bucket. The Nova Knicks squad, like with Josh Hart, with Dante DiVincenzo, They've been solid. And of course, seems like they're finally like gelling and putting together another like good Knicks team that we hadn't seen in a while. Or at least this feels like the most like solid and overall talented, most overall talented team they've had in a while. And to not have one of their bigger stars in Randle is going to be, it's going to be difficult for them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
to say the least. But I think that Bronson can still pull out some magic and, you know, get them a couple of games. I don't see them going far without Randle. But the positive is he'll be back at some point, and with this injury happening now, he gets to rehab this summer, and then next season they'll be hopefully, you know, fully stocked and good to go. Get Mitchell Robinson back, get Anobi back, be healthy, and gear up for another run.
Yeah, this is gotta get healthy.
Yeah,
this is gotta get healthy. This is the only issue. And Randall, he said he went to a couple different shoulder specialists. One said that he 100% needed surgery. One said he would be at risk, but if he dislocated again, it will cause permanent damage. So, really, like you said, it was really like his only option. Yeah, he tried his best to come back. So, props to him for trying to come back. He cleared everything in his power to try to come back because he believes in the squad. And again, they have a really good team. Just injuries are part of the game, unfortunately. So,
yeah, man.
Shout
out to you, bro.
Yeah, man. I was just about to shout out, man.
Recovery.
For sure, man. Wish them the best. And the Knicks still got a squad now. I agree with you. It diminishes their chances of getting far, but I do still expect them to make the playoffs. I would say it depends on who they're matched up with. That depends on how far they can go. I would say I wouldn't put them past the second round though. At this point, without Julius. But again, you never know. Matchups are a thing, and you never know what can happen with these other teams. So you never know. So if you're a Knicks fan, you still have some hope.
Yeah. There's still time. It's a close race right now in the playoffs, and I know they're tied up with the Magic. And
tied up with the Magic.
Hey, they would be up against them. That's not an easy matchup. The Magic are really solid this year, but
no, not at all. I would not take that.
They have a chance.
Yeah, it's a tight race in the East. Well, for the 2 seed on, it's a race. Celtics are just way ahead. It don't matter. Celtics are all right. That's it in the East, though. The West is a real competition out there too, though. So, but East, Celtics got that locked up, though.
Yeah.
Let's keep going around and around, man. So, you know, the Hornets head coach Steve Clifford. He's actually moving into a front office role after the season. And now they're currently looking to hire a new coach for the Hornets. Now, my first reaction to this was, I mean, I like Steve Clifford as a coach. Like, he's okay. But I'm just wondering what message is this sending to the team and what's going to happen. The last time we saw this happen was with the Celtics most recently, in my memory. Remember when Brad Stevens went to the front office role, and that caused Ime Udoka to, you know, get the role, get the job, and go on from there. Y'all, the rest is history, as y'all know. This reminds me a little bit of that, but with the bad team, though. Like, if you're the Hornets, I don't really understand the purpose of this. You really need structure when you're an organization. In any organization you're in, you need structure. This doesn't provide it. And I know they're not meeting expectations of maybe their fans. I don't know. I didn't expect them to go. I don't know. But still. I don't know. What's your reaction to this, man? I was just like, what? That was my reaction. Like, why?
Hey, shout out to Steve Clifford for keeping a job, bro. You know, in this economy. Shout out to him for keeping a job, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the Hornets have been terrible. I don't know his exact role in the front office, obviously, but like you said, they need some structure. They need to me, they need a reboot of the system, to be honest. Obviously, they're gonna get a new coach, and hopefully they're able to rally around him or him or her and get going. But I've heard Steve Clifford is a really nice guy, but that's a young team, and they need, like, similar to what Orlando has and Coach Mosley right now. Like, they need someone who understands the game from their perspective, but also is able to, like, have that maturity and, like, gather them and coach them up. And right now, I think from every time I did, like, catch a Hornets game, and I feel like the Heat played the Hornets like 8 times this year, and I was like, man, every time I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure we didn't lose a game to them, and it was like, I'm not bragging by any means, I'm not like dissing them, but I'm just saying, I didn't even want to see a game with the Hornets, bro. And we played them at least 4 times, and I was just like, every time, bro, it's so. Melo either was like not playing, or he was coming back from an injury, and he was just jacking up shots. Brandon Miller wasn't playing pretty much any time I watched the game with them, and they just didn't have any type of. I don't know. They didn't have many positives, bro. They have to change a lot, and hopefully Steve Clifford can do some good in the front office to bring in the right pieces. Otherwise, they're gonna be potentially losing LaMelo Ball in the next couple seasons because they just don't have any type of, like, juice, bro. I just for lack of better words, they don't have it, man. And maybe this is a step in the right direction. They need some sort of change to rejuvenate that organization. Obviously, we know MJ sold like his majority shares. He still has some, but I don't think he's like as involved. Steve Clifford just happened to be their coach, and now that I'm thinking about that, Steve Clifford got fired from Charlotte a couple of years ago.
He did, and they brought him back.
You know what? Let's bring him back.
Yeah.
And still no results. So I'm not surprised that they're not good still. Mm-hmm. They have the potential though. They have a good star player in LaMelo if they can, like, find the right pieces.
Right. And Brandon Miller is also a budding star.
And Brandon Miller. Yeah.
They have some good pieces, and of course they're in the lottery again. So they may get somebody else. So it's very interesting. I do think it gives a chance, like you said, to install some other type of culture in the building, to hopefully get these guys to focus more. I don't know, man. Just a cultural shift. And they're looking at they secure permission to speak with 4 assistants regarding the job. They talking to Charles Lee from the Boston Celtics. They talking to David Edelman from the Nuggets. The Kings assistant coach Jordi Fernandez, and the Suns assistant coach Kevin Young. So these coaches have an opportunity to become a head coach. Yeah, you never know what can happen. And we saw the success with, like I said, with Boston when they did it. Although they were a better team at the time. So I don't know. We'll see. We just thought that was interesting. You ready to continue to go around the rim?
Oh yeah. Let's keep it moving.
The ball's still going around the rim here. There was a report by Shams. I don't know if you saw this. That says LeBron, they play 1 to 2 more years, man. And I'm like, 1, he already said it. We already knew that. I mean, it's not really just news. I think it's really just news because LeBron kind of mentioned it himself after he scored. Like, this man went for 40 the other night. I forgot which team he played against, but he dude went for 40. Really efficient from three. He was just sniping that man. He was just sniping that mug, bro. I not remember the team right now who he played against, but I was like, this dude, this old, still literally the best player on the Lakers team with Anthony Davis is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
We just gotta shout LeBron out for that, and this may be the first player, well, definitely first player in NBA history to really defeat Father Time like this. Maybe sports history as well, because Tom Brady, although he played when he was like 40, he didn't really look the same like he used to be. But LeBron is out here still being like the best player.
Yeah.
On the court. With other superstars in the league, which is crazy to me. So, do you think LeBron can play 1-2 more years? And what's your reaction to him being just balling out at this age?
I definitely think he can play 1 to 2 more years, probably more. It's just the question is can he sustain the level of play that he's at right now? 2 more years? I don't know. The other day I saw a clip of him in JJ's podcast, Mind the Game, and he said, I think his wife asked him how he was doing after a game or something. He said, or how he felt after a game, something like that. He said the funniest analogy I could think of. He said, imagine you bought a 2003 Escalade and never changed the tires. If you think about that, if you had a car since 2003, it's 2024, you never changed the tires, that's how he feels. So I get it. Like, of course, if I'm him, I'm not playing. I wouldn't play more than 2 more years at this point, because he's given the game 21 years at this point. He's like, next year if he plays, he's gonna tie Vince Carter for the most seasons played ever. But he's just an anomaly, bro. Like you said, he's literally doing this at age 39. LeBron's gonna be 40, bro, next year, which is like wild to think about right now. But he's been doing this since he was 18, and he's 39, and he's been an all-star, superstar since then. Yeah, it's amazing to see that he's doing this at his age and at this level. But yeah. I don't think he's I'm not surprised that he's saying 1-2 more years. That's not surprising. If he does 2 years, I'll be like, props to you, bro, because right now I couldn't go and play a full court pickup game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I probably couldn't even go for a game, let alone a season of 82 games. So
yeah, and the passion to keep going for that long too. Just keep that fire going. You gotta shout him out for that too. Never question his love for the game at this point. You cannot question it.
Everything he's done in and outside of the game has been just life-changing for many people. So big props to LeBron, man. Wild to imagine. It's gonna be so weird to when he does retire,
or when he starts regressing. That's gonna be weird too.
Yeah.
If he starts regressing, man, I don't even know.
Right. He might just like, all right, if he does 1-2 more years and he's still like at this level, he goes out, on top. Sometimes you have to end it early before you go down, So, but his farewell tour is going to be the biggest world event. Even like, probably as big as Kobe's, if not bigger,
Yeah. And he's playing so long, bro, he could potentially play with or against his son. Because
Yeah.
Bronny James just declared for the 2024 NBA draft. And he's going to also be in the transfer portal. So he has options. So let's say he doesn't like his draft, like maybe where he'd be potentially draft next season. He can just go back to college, play, and get your stock up and be in the draft the next year. I like the idea of declaring for the draft and being in the transfer portal. So, and I wonder where he'll go. Like, if he's drafted, he could potentially go to a Hornet. So, get a new coach in there. Get Bronny, little LeBron over there.
Yeah.
Trade for Steph Curry. Go home. Go play over there. You got a squad. I don't know.
Hey, Steph is from North Carolina.
I mean, hey.
And yeah, shout out to Jamel Hill. I saw her tweet the other day. It's the perfect time because LeBron has his player option coming up for this next season, and LeBron is declared for the draft. And we already know LeBron wants to be.
He wants to play with his son.
They want to be the father-son duo, bro. And
that's gonna be amazing to see. Yeah. We want to see that. They can put that
even if they don't have a great season. We just want to see it happen because who would imagine that? Like, there's been plenty of NBA fathers and their sons get to the league, but at the same time,
right? We've seen siblings play together multiple times, but this is the father and son.
Father time.
That's weird.
Man, it would be crazy, bro. I would do want to see it. So if I'm teams, though, honestly, think about it. You draft Bronny, you got a huge shot at getting LeBron. And think about it. If you get LeBron, you can get a team, and you can get some potential for a championship. I'm not gonna say you get a championship, but you got potential there because LeBron's gonna attract other players to come play with him. So it's a win-win. If I'm a team, if I'm Spurs, Charlotte, all these lottery teams, or just the first round, I would consider it just to think about, like, all right, the future. We can make some money. We can potentially get a championship. It's up.
So that'll be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Shout out to LeBron for making it this far. Bronny, good luck to you in the draft and whatever you decide to do. And shout out to us NBA fans because we can potentially see something that has never been done before, literally.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Bronny too. I didn't talk enough about him, but I do.
Oh yeah, let's talk about him a little bit, bro. After that scare, still come out and play. USC, unfortunately, they didn't do much as a squad, but to still play and get back up to speed, it took a lot, man. So shout out to Bronny for getting back and playing, because that's scary, bro. Some of us would wonder he'll even play again.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that he's playing, that's a testament. So, and it's a blessing. So,
I know that he's put in the work to get back and to. I'm sure he's eager to show that he's very talented as a basketball player, and we've seen it. We've seen flashes of it for sure. I don't think he had the most opportunities with USC this year. Obviously, with him coming back from the health scare, and I'm sure that's a big part of his potential draft projection, draft stock, because he would probably have to do another physical to, evaluate his health and everything to be eligible to go to the draft. But shout out to him, and I'm glad he gets to keep his eligibility because he kind of, to me, got like a unfair hand with how this situation occurred. But either way, we just want to see him hoop, whether that's in the league or another team next year. Hope he gets another opportunity, and I think he's going to be really, really talented. I'm not saying he's gonna be the next LeBron James, but I'm saying that he's defined himself, and he's gonna be a really, really good player.
For sure. Let's keep going around the rim here. You were telling me about this, bro, the other day. I saw the headline, but I did not watch the highlights or anything, so I'm sorry to hear you tell me about it. But Malachi Flynn, bro. Apparently he joins Nick Anderson and Jamal Crawford as the only players in NBA history to score 50 as a reserve. So, what's your reaction to Malachi making history, man?
Shout out to Malachi Flynn, showing off for the bench crowd. A positive light in Detroit, bro, because they've had it rough the past season or two for sure. But shout out to Malachi Flynn making NBA history. It's really crazy because, like you just said, he joins Nick Anderson and Jamal Crawford, only players that scored 50 off the bench. Scoring 50 off the bench is crazy, but to really think about him specifically, before that he was averaging 5.6 points per game or something like that. You're averaging 5 points a game, and now you have a basically 100% increase in how much you score per game. It's wild, bro. And I think he's from Washington. I think I saw Jamal Crawford retweet him and shout him out. So really cool, man. I watched the highlights. I had to see how he got his buckets, and honestly, it was cool because I've been seeing this term go around on social media called ethical hoops. He wasn't like out here just shooting and jacking up shots. And there's no dig at DeJounte Murray, anybody who dropped like 40 on 44 shots, but he went like 18 for 25. I think he had maybe 6 threes or something like that. He shot good percentages from the field, and he had a balanced game. He didn't just drop 50 and, he had like 50 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists as a guard off the bench, which is wild. But I was really impressed, bro. I was like, all right, you better go off and get your money, bro, because Detroit, there's not much else that they can do at this point in the season, so why not, bro? Shout out to Malachi Flynn for ethical hoops, bro. Like, smooth jumper, getting to the basket. He made the right play. He that's what was so impressive. He got 50 points off the bench playing the right way, which is not something you see every day.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, I was wondering how you got his buckets, and I'm glad you told me like how you got them. So like, well deserved, man. Definitely get some more PT time after that.
Contract, potentially new contract.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
So, of course, y'all know I'm an OKC fan. Before we get to this next topic, and OKC, we're scheduled to play the Sixers, and Joel Embiid was listed as out. So, of course, if you know Joel Embiid is not going to play, you're going to prepare to not have him play, because there's no way this man will come back. But, bro, he did. How this man was listed questionable 90 minutes before the game started. And then
it was questionable?
Yes, he was questionable. So first he was out.
I thought it was out.
First he was out. Then you're gonna upgrade it. I mean, not upgrade, but downgrade it to like questionable. 90 minutes before tip off. And then we see Joel Embiid out here balling. Shout out to Joel Embiid though. He had a great performance, like off injury. Like he had like 24 or something like that. He was looking good. But this is my issue though, bro. Like, one, the NBA is going to investigate this injury. The official letter says this. The NBA announced that the Philadelphia 76ers have been fined $100,000 for violating the injury reporting rules. The Sixers failed to accurately disclose the game availability status of Joel Embiid prior to their game against Oklahoma City Thunder on April 2nd. Embiid was listed as out in the initial injury report and subsequently played in the game. The fine takes into account the Sixers' prior history of fines for violating injury reporting rules. That's the official communication and why the Sixers are fined. So Why is this a big issue too, though? One, if Joel Embiid is out and they're playing the top seeded Thunder, you might think that, hey, OKC can win. And if you're a betting person, you probably bet for them to win. So this has major implications on kind of sports gambling in general, but ultimately I'm just an OKC fan, and I was like, that ain't fair. That's how I initially felt. But as an overall basketball fan, I was happy to see Joel Embiid back. But this could potentially tie into our conversation later in our dribble drive debate. But I don't know if you saw Joel Embiid in the action when he returned, but do you have a reaction to seeing Joel Embiid?
Yeah. I actually, Miami Heat saw him the other night,
and we all did play him. Yep. See.
Yeah. So
I was a similar thing. Y'all probably preparing the day before, like, oh, he ain't playing, but like,
yeah.
Yo.
Either I don't know if they knew he was playing or not.
Because he wasn't slated to come back. He was going to come back soon. Because even when we were planning our podcast docket, I was like, yo, it's cool. Joel Embiid coming back soon. Like, maybe around playoff times or before that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then the day of, we find out, yo, he playing tonight. Like, what's going on? So, I don't know, man. It's not that major. It's not that big of a deal to me. I do want to shout Joel Embiid for playing. I just want the Sixers to be careful. That's my main thing. This is a man with injury history, especially early on in his career. Thankfully, it's kind of waned to some degree, where he's a little more durable. But either way, I do want them to be careful, because this is a great player. This is potentially the only man that can potentially stop Jokic. So, like, keep him healthy. That's all I'm saying. So, that's my reaction to that. And oh, bro, did you know that he signed with Skechers?
Huh?
Yeah, he signed with, he legit signed with Skechers, bro. Skechers
shoes.
Skechers shoes, I believe so, bro. I'll make sure, but he signed with Skechers.
Huh? That's
Yeah. He used to partner with Under Armour, but now has a multi-year deal with Skechers to be the face of their NBA division.
Wow.
He was seen wearing Skechers shoes for the first time in the game. Oh, he had it on in the OKC game, apparently. Skechers. Skechers. I can't even make it come
around for a minute, man. Shout out to them.
Sad for them getting into the basketball. Were they ever in the basketball scene?
Not from my understanding. I thought they were more of like a comfort or running shoe.
Yeah.
For the most, I've never. They're pretty popular. I've just never had any.
Oh, I see. He was wearing Skechers. I'm looking at the shoes now. It's I mean, meh. I'm just looking at the design of them. I wish I could put them on the screen for y'all, but if y'all look them up, it's like, it's okay.
Would you wear the Skechers basketball shoes, Q?
Oh no.
Are they mid?
Oh no. There's a couple shoe brands I wouldn't just wear like that. But shout out to the brands trying to make that mark. Puma.
Yep.
They're trying to make them. Reebok's is trying to make it bounce back.
Check.
Yeah. But the main sneakers in the game right now are, you got, of course, Nike, Jordan, Under Armour, Adidas. Those are the main ones I feel like are more popular right now. So, but hey, shout out, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not sure how popular the NBA division will be for Skechers brand, but we'll see. So I guess if you play 2K, you have opportunity to sign with Skechers.
Skechers.
Yep.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out to
Joel
Embiid.
More Skechers.
I don't think I've ever had a pair of Skechers unless I was like a very small child.
I remember as a kid I had some K-Swiss.
I remember K-Swiss.
Yeah.
I think I had. I remember people having them. I don't think I had a pair though.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I had some light case Swish shoes, bro. Like, I don't remember having Skechers. I would wear Skechers for comfort, not for the court though.
I've never.
Because I've been seeing those commercials about the slip and go or whatever, those type of shoes. They look comfortable. I'm like,
you making me think of a really old stuff. You remember Heelys?
yeah.
I knew somebody. Quick side story. I remember I had a classmate. I won't say their name, but I remember he was one of the first people to have the Heelys in our school. And I remember, like, you know, they had the skate in the back, so like your heel back or something like that, and the skate would come down. Mm-hmm. He did it one time, and he did it too fast, and he skated and went straight back. And I was just like, oh, dog, this is nope, can't do it. I can't let that happen to me. Talking about he did the Healy thing and went straight back down. I was like, gravity played a role today that I have. I'm not gonna put myself in that position, guy. Sorry, bro. Shout out to him for doing his thing with the Heelys. Shout out to Skechers, Joel Embiid for exploring and getting to the bag with Skechers.
I'm assuming he got a real nice bag. I don't know what the amount is. I don't think they disclosed it, but I'm sure it's a real nice bag to sign with Skechers.
No
disrespect to Skechers, bro. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but no disrespect.
No.
I don't know, bro.
It's funny, man. I didn't expect him to leave Under Armour. I thought
exactly. He had maybe he wants to make his own mark with his own brand, because Under Armour will always be buried.
Yeah.
As a headliner, so
absolutely, yeah.
Maybe he just want to make his own mark right now.
Hey, this could open the door, man. We could see Fila come back, some more Grant Hill type situations, you know.
I guess so, man. That was another brand that, yep. Yeah. And one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they're in the game now. I forgot who's the athlete right now. Clay? I don't know. Somebody, I don't know. Oh, no, Clay's with Anta.
Yeah, I think Lance Stevenson had some and-ones for a minute when he was still playing.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to y'all sneakerheads, bro.
Oh yeah.
Go get you the next pair of Joel Embiid Skechers, whatever you gonna call it. His signature shoe, maybe. Yeah, man. We'll take a short pause right here. Come back with our dribble drive debate for the day. Y'all stay tuned. Time for our dribble drive debate for today. We want to talk about sports betting a little bit, and we want to send this discussion around Jonte Porter. And if you don't know, there's some issues with prop betting recently with the Raptors forward. So it all started around January 26th. Okay. And on 26th, the Raptors played against the Clippers. And there's an increased betting interest for the under for Porter. And the under set for that was around 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists. There's also under for made pre-pointers. So again, there was an increase in betting on his under. That evening, Porter only played 4 minutes before he left the game for what the Raptors said was an aggravating eye injury or something that he suffered earlier. Okay, but he didn't score, and everything was under. So people that bet that won out pretty big, right? So later on, he played 19 minutes and he has 12.7 rounds, 3 assists. So everything seemed normal. Like, okay, that was just a one-time event. We ain't gonna worry about that. Maybe it was an eye injury. However, on March 20th against the Kings, he only played 3 minutes before leaving because what the Raptors said was an illness, and he did not return. He only attempted 1 shot and had 2 rebounds. And the sportsbooks had his over-under set around 7.5 points and 5.5 rebounds. However, the next day, the sportsbook reported that Porter's prop bets were the number one moneymaker from that night. So people were cashing in on the unders again. So he's starting to see the issue now. And at least one other sports book detected an unusual betting interest on Porter's props in the games that were in question. So now, a sportsbook industry person told ESPN that multiple betting accounts attempted to bet large amounts, upward of $10,000 and maybe $20,000 on Porter unders in that January game against the Clippers. Very interesting. The betting limits on NBA player props vary by sportsbook and customer, but they're typically supposed to be around $1,000 and $2,000. This tells you that people were trying to do whatever they could to bet Porter props against the Clippers that day. And then just a few days ago on March 20th, same thing happened. This is from a quote from a sports bet employee. So, yeah, this is very interesting. And Porter missed the Raptors game against the Wizards for personal reasons. He was also out the next game against the Nets for personal reasons. So, and now with all this, the NBA is investigating the situation. So, this is very interesting. So, hopefully you see now the issue with this. And just legalize sports betting, period. Because again, this could affect you also if you're the person that maybe you bet the Thunder to win against the Sixers, because Embiid was listed as out. It's smart bettors would bet OKC to win. So, this is an issue, man. I mean, there's always going to be a risk of players doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of messes up with the integrity of the game. For me personally, I'm not a gambling man. I'm not a betting man. That's just me. I don't do that. But clearly there's an issue here, and the NBA needs to do something to resolve it. So what's your reaction to this news, and what are your thoughts on legalized sports betting? Because it's affecting the industry. It's everywhere, and they're making a lot of money. You see commercials all the time with different brands and different sports books. Like, it's a market, and they're making money.
Yeah, I have seen these Prize Picks and DraftKings sports books, and I've seen the ads for sure. I also am not a gambler. I don't make enough money to be like potentially winning more. I'm not that type of guy, personally, but I'm not against it. If I were like, and more of if I had more expertise, maybe I would dive into it. But this situation is strange because this Porter kid, I did see like he missed some games, and there were these large sum bets of $10,000, and I'm like, he's essentially rigging the game so that somebody, people can win more money. If that's where the sports gambling is going to take the game of hoops, it's not really, to me, a positive. I think it's a great avenue for another industry. Obviously, like you said, people are making good money, and I'm sure like the house always wins, so they're getting subscribers and however they make their money, whatever. But if it's going to become, players are going to sabotage the game for the sake of winning bets outside of, their contracted NBA job, it's going to be a problem. And I know that, I think I told you the other day, like I saw this thing about PJ Tucker saying, like, fans coming to the game that sit courtside, like, complaining because they didn't win their under or over or whatever it was. It's one thing to be a fan, to be a heckler, but now we have these situations where you gamble and you got, and to be fair, I don't know what this Porter player is doing exactly, or if if it's just convenience, or whatever is happening is just the timing of things, but it's not a good look for the ethical hoops, as we were saying. Like, it literally makes you question if guys are going to give their all in a game, or if they're like laying back so they can, win more money on the side gambling. It's a dangerous space to be in. Gambling addiction is a problem, and obviously I know with these like different companies like PrizePicks and everything and DraftKings, stuff like that, they give you the gambling addiction hotline and stuff like that, but it's not as simple as you call this thing and you are fixed. I think it's just a difficult situation, to say the least, to navigate with. How do you keep the game as ethical as possible without it being compromised because of gambling? You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough situation. I don't want to say you can't have it. We can't like have legal sports betting, but I don't like it. I personally wouldn't like if a player on the Heat were to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go under tonight for the sake of me winning personal money instead of like going out here and trying to win a game. To me, that is a very controversial, to say the least.
Yeah, and what does it say about players that say a player makes an early exit for something? Our fans gonna start questioning their injuries now. You know what I'm saying? So it just really messes with the integrity of
they already
sport.
do that.
I'm just saying. We do, but even more so because you got money on the line and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a very messy situation. If Porter is found, the NBA do find that Porter didn't have foul dealings with this stuff, they are definitely gonna make an example out of him. In the NFL, Calvin really did something. He was accused and they found him guilty of something similar and he was suspended. This could be a similar thing or a similar consequence. It's funny though, because Jonte Porter is just, player trying to keep his job in the NBA, keep playing, trying to keep balling. But the effects of this could have long-term implications for the sport and sports betting in general. So it sucks. I'm sure it sucks for him to find himself in this situation, but and again, these are just allegations and it's weird. But it does open the conversation about sports betting in general and how can we navigate this new world in it, with sports. Because betting has always been here, but legalized betting is different.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for everyone to get paid, even players playing. And if they have a chance to get themselves paid through someone else by just hitting these marks, then I don't know. Personally, sorry, bro, you about to say?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. I mean, like, personally, society, bro, I don't blame people if they try. You know what I'm saying? Money is all tied up in the 1% anyway in the capitalist society, bro. Like, and if you need to go get your money, go ahead and go get it, bro. But at the same time, the system's set up that way. So part of me is like, I don't blame them for trying to like use the system for their advantage. This kind of reminds me of what happened with GameStop. GameStop, bro. I don't know if you heard about that, but yeah, man. Just because
Would like the stock?
Yeah, yeah, people getting like rich off the GameStop stock, and these are just ordinary people like you and me, man, making investments and doing what they're supposed to do, playing this game right they're supposed to. But because they do this all the time, corporations, but because it's these common people, oh no, we don't want y'all to get paid like that. So, and I'm speaking very broadly here. If you want to look up more about it, I encourage you to do research on your own and look into the stories and stuff. But those are my conclusions about stuff like this, bro. It's just trying to play the game and just trying to get rich. Because remember, he is a bench player. Although he's getting paid, some bench players are getting paid millions, but not everyone is in the same boat. You know, I think he's in a two-way contract. Two-way contracts are way different.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But let us know y'all thoughts on sports betting. Do you think? I don't know, bro. I don't know what NBA is gonna do. It's a very messy situation, man. In sports in general. What do y'all think about it? Should we keep prop betting, and how should the NBA navigate it in the future? For sure.
Yeah.
We take one more quick break and return to Full Court Press and wrap up the podcast. All right, it's now time for the Full Court Press. Full Court Press is when we rapidly fire through some of the other news and topics around basketball. And the first one, I was kind of surprised by this too, bro. I think you were as well. Rondo retired.
Yeah.
And he was like, we thought he was already retired. Like, yo, but he's officially retired now, and Rondo is one of the smartest minds in the game, according to LeBron. And I believe him. I think he questioned why he shouldn't have been a coach by now, but he was like, it'd be tough, like coaching. But I can see Rondo as a coach too if you want to go that way. And I don't know if y'all ever seen him being an analyst on TV before, but he is smart. And shout out to him in his retirement, bro. But what's your reaction?
One of the most intelligent basketball players, one of the most exciting point guards, floor generals that we've had the pleasure of witnessing. Wishing him well in his retirement. I think he's going to be great in whatever he does, whether that's in the front office, whether that's as a TV analyst or as a coach on the sideline. He's going to be great. Shout out to Rajon Rondo. Everyone was trying to do that fake behind the back when you hoop.
Yeah, he did.
So, and that move was done before him, but he did it like no one else. Like his ability to grip the ball and just the passes that he was able to make, bro. Super talented dude, and wishing him well. I thought he had retired last year. I know he was doing some stuff with Kentucky, but making it official this year, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Rajon Rondo. He was super exciting player to watch. Very fun.
Yeah, man. We got some new people in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell us about that, man.
Shout out to the new 2024 class of 2024 Hall of Fame inductees, Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups, bro. They officially are going to hoop heaven, as D Wade has said. Very much so.
That's the first time hearing that. Hoop heaven.
Oh yeah, he D Wade said in his Hall of Fame speech, he felt like he made it to hoop heaven, basically. But very well deserved from two of the most talented players I think growing up we got to see. I know me and you used to play 2K a lot. I think you may have had like the Chauncey Billups led Pistons teams.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Big Shot. I've always like admired his game, and another like great basketball mind. And what can I say that hasn't been said about VC, Vince Carter, Vince Sanity, the greatest dunker, but also just one of the greatest scorers in the history of the game. Very, very fun, very exciting. One of the most exciting players to ever play the game. Shout out to these guys for well-deserved and celebrated careers, decorated careers that they've had in the NBA and beyond, bro. So very well-deserved, and I think I knew that Vince Carter was going to make it for sure. I knew Chauncey had a chance, and to see them both go, sensational.
Well deserved. Sticking with the Hall of Fame, Jerry West is breaking the Hall of Fame record, bro. He's gonna be in there for the third time, and this time as a GM and consultant. As you know, he had a very prominent role with the Warriors, I believe, and what they did as their consultant. Of course, what he's done for the game as a GM. You know, of course, that legendary trade at this point, get Kobe Bryant to the Lakers. Monumental. So, if anyone deserves to be in there as a consultant or GM, it's definitely him. Jerry West does deserve that honor and distinction. So, shout out to Jerry West.
Shout out to Jerry West, the living logo.
Yep. Sticking with some retirement news too. You were telling me about Marc Gasol, right?
Yeah. Marc Gasol, the legendary Spaniard big man, got his jersey retired April 6th. As of today, April 6th, 2024. By the Memphis Grizzlies, man. A well-deserved honor. He kind of ushered in that grit and grind era with him, Zach Randolph, Mike Conley. Very fun time in Memphis, bro. Very well-deserved. He earned the Defensive Player of the Year and just kind of like brought stardom to Memphis when they most needed it. Brought really good hoops for many years there, and made his mark for sure. So shout out to Marc Gasol.
Yeah, we're from the South, and I remember when they did a trade at the time, bro. And Pau Gasol was Memphis, you know what I'm saying? Memphis versus basketball, you know what I'm saying? He was a star player, and when he got traded, it was weird for his brother. It was just so weird. So when he got Marc, no one really knew Marc Gasol like that. You know what I'm saying? He was not the Marc Gasol that we know now. And for him to play and eventually got that grit and grind Grizzlies team that is a classic and iconic team in my opinion. It meant a lot. So shout out to Marc Gasol. Well deserved honor to have his jersey retired. So that's awesome. And final news for the full court press. We could potentially see Caitlin Clark at an All-Star event, bro.
Yeah.
So the NBA is considering having a 2v2 3-point shootout contest with Caitlin Clark, Sabrina, and then Clay and Steph, right? So would you like to see something like that?
I think it would be cool. We did get to see this first of a kind event with Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry this past All-Star game, All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
And it was, to me, one of the most fun events. Getting to see some of the best in the game go head-to-head in the shooting contest was really exciting. And I think it's a smart marketing move for the NBA and the WNBA to bring in someone like Caitlin Clark because of just we've been ranting about her for what I feel like the last few episodes for sure, and she just is. She's like that, bro. I feel like it would be kind of cool to see them go at it in a shootout for sure. And of course, iconic Steph and Clay Splash Brothers. So why not?
Who would you pick to win?
from a basketball perspective, and this is just purely basketball. I think Steph and Clay. To me, Sabrina had a great run last year, and I thought she had it, but Steph, of course, was Steph.
And there's an advantage to going last as well. There's always an advantage going last. But if anyone needs to go last, and Steph deserves that honor. He's Steph Curry, so
the 3-point king.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing about it is that I feel like Caitlin is a game rhythm type of shooter. I don't feel like she was like. I don't think I've ever seen her in a 3-point contest in college. So I feel like she's more of like feel in the moment in the game, off the dribble a lot of the time as well. I don't know if she would be comfortable as a pick up from the rack and shoot type of player or shooter.
Yeah.
That's my only thing, but I would like to see Sabrina and Caitlin, if they were to team up, for them to win. That's just me.
I feel you on the game part because I think Paige is more of that type of shooter. You know what I'm saying? Compared to Caitlin. But the only thing about this though, it depends on what kind of Klay Thompson you get. So I feel like that kind of equalizes things for a degree. But they have a shot. They will have a shot to win though, because Klay is not the same Klay, unfortunately. So, very interesting. Let's get into the final switch, bro. And of course, it's all about Final Four, man. We got the men's game tonight. I guess we can start there, and then we can wrap everything up, man.
Oh yeah.
But what are your predictions, man? What you got?
So we
start with the men's bracket, bro. Then we'll go to one.
North Carolina State versus
Purdue,
and we have UConn,
and Alabama.
Good matchups, bro. Personally, I love what DJ Burns has been doing.
Exactly, bro. I was about to say the same thing, bro. In my heart, I want North Carolina State to win, bro.
Same.
In my heart, that's what I want to win.
Same.
Can they cause upset? Maybe. It's always a chance. But in my heart, I'm gonna go with them just because I'm rooting for them. It's just a great story. So it's one of those Cinderella type stories, man. So that's my pick. I feel like you're the same thing.
Yeah, North Carolina State is definitely who I want to see. Just another Cinderella type story. They had a really good season, and I think that they have a shot at it, bro. I feel like.
And by the way, you think they got shot at the whole thing? You think they got to shot the whole thing?
I think it's possible, bro. I don't really see anybody who could match up with DJ Burns. He's just too big, bro. I don't think they could guard him. He's got. Obviously, I think he's gotten a lot of comparisons to Zach Randolph, but I think he could be even more dominant if he's allowed to play his game and they get going. Yeah, I think North Carolina State for sure.
Man, it's gonna be tough because Zach Edey is no joke either. He big.
That's true.
That boy is big, man. So I don't know. It'll be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I'm rooting for DJ Burns as well. I'm predicting UConn to beat Alabama, and then we'll get a matchup between UConn and NC State. And for me personally, I want North Carolina to win it all. That's just me personally. But basketball wise, just being objective, I will probably go with UConn. But I want North Carolina State to win everything,
I feel you.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Same here.
If Purdue advances, they have a high chance to beat UConn as well. So, I mean, they got a real good shot. So yeah, that's just me. I'm just going to root for North Carolina State.
Yeah, same here. But I'm not gonna count Alabama out. That lefty kid kind of reminds you of Jalen Bronson for Alabama. Mark Sears, that's what I was trying to say. He plays with confidence, small guard, but I'm not gonna count him out. I think they have a good chance. But UConn are the defending champions, and they back in the Final Four, so it's gonna be a hard game. But
that's basically why I would pick them objectively. You know what I'm saying? But like, in my heart, though, yeah. Let's go to the women. So we already know the results from
Final Four.
From the Final Four. Now the championship game for the women. Might as well predict that. It's gonna be tomorrow.
You already know.
It's gonna be tomorrow at 2. You already know what I'm gonna pick. I think I mentioned it earlier. Like, South Carolina is no joke, bro. It's
Camila
no
Cardoso.
It's no joke, bro. So I fully expect South Carolina to win it all. Don Staley, one of the best coaches, man.
Oh yeah, shout out to Dawn Staley. I think I saw this the other day, or maybe earlier today, actually. She's the only person to win, I think, most outstanding player and coach of the year. I think that's a first, if I'm not mistaken. She's goated. She's basketball royalty for sure. Either way you look at it, bro. So yeah, South Carolina is they're too stacked, bro. Kaylin Clark obviously is super talented, but I think they can get some buckets, but it's going to be hard to stop South Carolina's offense, because especially if they get going from 3, we haven't even mentioned like all the shooters, bro. Like, yeah, South Carolina is to me the favorite in this matchup to win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I did upset them before. I don't see them doing it again though.
I think they're gonna take that personally.
That's what I'm saying. They ready this time, bro.
Yeah.
I don't see them. Yeah, I don't see them doing it this time.
Nah, not this time.
They did mess up their perfect season last year. But I'm sure they're grinding at the teeth about that loss. I think it was like in the semifinals. But yeah, that I don't see it, bro, unfortunately. But as you said earlier, to start out the podcast, if somehow Iowa wins and Kaylin just balls out, that definitely gonna have an impact on her legacy, though. So,
definitely.
Yeah, man. Those are our predictions. Y'all tell us what y'all think, and looking forward to the matchups. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be nice.
It's been a great week for hoops, man.
Oh yeah. It's gonna get better too, because right after we're done with the Final Four, the finals, wrapping up all these games, it's be around playoff time.
And WNBA draft, April 15th.
Ain't that wild?
Yeah, some people are going to go straight from championship to the draft, and like
potentially straight from. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's wild. But it's a great time for basketball fans around the world, man. It's a great time in hoops.
Great time.
I'm excited for basketball, and I'm excited for the NBA playoffs to begin as well and play in. So, and y'all know where y'all can stay tuned for coverage on those things and reactions. So, this has been another edition of Swish Masters Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. And of course, we'll be back at it again next Thursday. Thank you all for your flexibility with us. Again, we normally live Thursdays for Swish Masters, and we'll be live on Tuesdays for our Triple Threat Culture Podcast, where we dive into things outside of basketball, gaming, music, culture, society, things of that nature. Our thoughts and opinions on those things. So y'all y'all check out that podcast for sure.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. We want to see that subscriber count go up. We're trying to increase the viewership so we can get more content to you. Either way, be sure to like and comment the videos and follow us on your favorite podcast platforms, whether that's Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon. It can be found everywhere. New episodes coming out every week. Thank y'all so much, and we appreciate it.
All right. Peace.
Oh.